So good to see you. And we're talking about survival today.
Yes.
And a lot of people that are in situations that where, you know, through no fault of their own, they have to try and survive. You actively seek out danger, though, don't you?
Well, that's it, isn't it? I guess I feel like a bit of a fraud being in this kind of company today because I have the privilege of making the choice to be in the situations that I'm in, and I've thought about them a great deal beforehand. I've risk-assessed the situations that I'm going to... Even if that is diving in blue water with a great white shark, you know, it's been 20 years of experience working up to that, whereas so many people that I'm hearing the stories of today haven't had that choice, I guess.
But what is it that makes you want to push yourself like that, that makes you want to put yourself in that danger?
Well, a lot of the things I do, I have a different perspective on it to other people.
Right.
As I was saying with the shark, you know, I dived with my first shark when I was probably about 12 years old. And I worked up over time to realising that in certain situations, these animals do not want to do you any harm, and even a great white shark will avoid you if it possibly can. And, you know, I love life. I don't really want to risk it, but I have had, I guess, a number of experiences in my life that have been very close calls.
Absolutely. What's the worst one?
The worst one, I would say the most frightening was diving with crocodiles in Botswana, in Okavango. And I had a massive male crocodile whose head was probably that wide across swim straight up my cameraman, and they disappeared in this cloud of sand on the bottom of the swamp. And I could see his torch thrashing around inside this cloud of sand, and I was sure he'd been taken. And then the crocodile just kind of came out of the cloud in between the two of us. But that was a heart-stopping moment. I think even more so because it was my friend.
Yeah, it was someone else.
Yes,
it was someone else, so that makes sense. Talk me through your injuries. You've had many.
Yeah,
Can you remember them all?
I am kind of held together with sticky tape and... yeah, I mean, my worst was a rock climbing fall where I broke my back in two places and destroyed my left ankle. And I spent a good portion of 6 years recovering from that and about 12 different operations. But the mountains is somewhere that's so special to me that I guess very much like someone falling off a horse wanting to get back on it again, I had to get back into the hills as possible.
You went back up into the mountains, even that wouldn't have put you off. And I know that you do things like there's this fantastic club that you've got where you want kids to be more adventurous as well, because there is this tendency now that, you know, children do sit and we do wrap them up in cotton wool and